Welcome, everyone. It's great to be here with you celebrating Shabbat. And before we have our other song, we're going to start out with a wonderful song called Zoom Gali Gali.
Zoom Gali Gali Gali, Zoom Gali Gali, Zoom Gali Gali Gali, Zoom Gali Gali. Hechalutz leman avodah, avodah leman hechalutz. Hechalutz leman avodah, avodah leman hechalutz. Now you may be wondering,
Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom.
It's good to start out with Shabbat Shalom. We thank our cantorial spiritual leader, Andy Susman, for starting out. We also start out with Zoom Gali Gali. You might wonder, why Zoom Gali Gali? Because we're on Zoom. This is the first time we've done Zoom Shabbat in quite a while, so I thought, what better song than Zoom Gali Gali? It's a song of the pioneers. Hechalutz leman avodah means the pioneer spirit on behalf of working for a goal, and avodah leman hechalutz, and the work in favor of and support of the pioneers. We at L'Dor Va-Dor are pioneers. We are pioneering a new approach to Judaism, which merges the greatest revelations ever known to humanity, the revelations of science, which has taken us to the moon and back, and the revolutions of religion, which lifts us up to a higher level. Put these two together, and it is a powerful influence for good. Another powerful influence for good was Eva Jacobi Morad, the mother of Wendy Frank. Tonight, we celebrate her life. We join her in paying tribute to her memory. But more than that, I hope as you listen to some of her accolades, which we'll describe later on in the service, because of the generosity of Wendy Frank, also the generosity of her spirit, I hope you'll be prompted to say, what can I do to emulate this remarkable woman? And maybe have her elevate my life because of her influence. We thank you so much, Wendy Frank. And now we're going to have a few words about Wendy's mom that were provided for me. Her mother, Eva, by the way, Eva means life. She was full of life. It's Chava in Hebrew. Was a bright, witty, warm, and compassionate person in spite of all she went through. Being a Holocaust survivor, she did not emerge bitter. She emerged better. Wendy always said on a scale of 1 to 10 for mothers, Eva was a 20. Her grandson, Ben, always said that when any of his friends met her, they wanted her for their grandma. Eva accompanied them on family vacations. A year-round Floridian, she would visit them in Massachusetts in the winter, building snowmen and throwing snowballs with the kids. Wendy's ex-husband enjoyed Eva so much that when they finished the basement in their house, he even built an in-law suite down there, hoping that Eva would eventually move in with them. Even at the age of 75 or 80, when Wendy had 2 major accidents, Eva was there on the next plane and stayed as long as she was needed to help Wendy out. That's the kind of person she was. What more needs to be said? Nothing more, but I'll say it anyway. She's the type of person who, in true Jewish style, doesn't feel like they stop being a parent when their kid hits 18. You're always a parent, and you're always there. And she was able to be childlike in her joy and love of life. The kids loved being with her.
What's that camera now?
Yeah.
We'll put the pretty people.
She was like one of the kids. Never should we lose our childlike joy and enthusiasm, no matter what age we reach. And now, it is my pleasure to introduce the new presidente, the new president of Congregation L'Dor Va-Dor. He's a very good guy and had some great parents. I know because I knew his parents well. That's my brother. And so we're going to have him lead us in responsive reading. When you see the bold print, read it boldly. That's because this is where the congregation joins in. The congregation will be muted at this point, and my brother will read both sides. But if you're out there listening, read the bold print when my brother reads responsibly. Noah, take it away.
Thank you very much, Rabbi. Welcome, congregation. I do have a small congregation here to read the congregational reading. Can you see them?
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Okay. May the door of this community be wide enough to receive all hunger for love, all who are lonely for fellowship.
May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture.
May the door of this community be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and hostility.
May its threshold be a gateway to shared feelings, healing memories, rekindled dreams.
May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness.
May this community be, for all who enter, a doorway to a richer and more meaningful life.
Amen. Thank you.
Yeah, I want to thank my brother Noah and his congregation back there, consisting of Adam and Jane, who are about to experience their first child, Noah, who will become a grandfather, and David, who does some amazing things on the water skis that I witnessed today. Thank you very much for joining us at L'Dor Va-Dor. And now we're going to have Bring In the Light.
Bring in the light, bring in the light, bring in the light of Shabbat. We light the lights of Shabbat. Bring in the light, bring in the light, bring in the light of Shabbat. We light the lights of Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom, may you have a peaceful day. Shabbat Shalom, may you have a restful day. Bring in the light, bring in the light, bring in the light of Shabbat. Lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
C'est magnifique, c'est très belle. Thank you very much for that beautiful song. And now we have the candle lighting. Do we have
No, Rabbi, by Donna and Bill Field.
Yes, Donna and Bill Field are going to lead us in the candle lighting. Take it away.
Good evening, everybody. Shabbat Shalom. Bill and I are very happy to light the candles tonight to bring in the Sabbath and wish everybody peace. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotov v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed art you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvah, commanding us to kindle the lights of Shabbos. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for leading us in the candle lighting. Thank you for leading our congregation and stepping up to leadership positions. We greatly appreciate that. We're now going to continue with the Kiddush, which will be led for us by the sponsor of our Shabbat celebration, Wendy Frank.
She muted herself.
Wendy, you are on mute, so you might want to unmute so we can hear you.
Trying to find, okay, there.
You did it.
Okay, you can hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Why can't I see me?
We see you.
Okay. Sharon had a picture of this Kiddush cup that I'm using. It was a piece of Judaica that my father had given me. And if you look closely, you can see pictures of Jews and they're carrying axes. Anyway, you can look at the picture closely after. But it's very heavy. It's made of like brass and pewter. And it's really beautiful. Okay. All Jewish celebrations, from holidays to weddings, include wine as a symbol of our joy, and Shabbat is no exception. The Kiddush, which means sanctification, marks Shabbat as a sacred time. We recite the blessing before sipping the wine, which is sweet, making our holiday of Shabbat just a little bit sweeter. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Borei pri hagafen.
Sponsoring.
Thank you.
Wendy, we thank you for sponsoring our Shabbat celebration, leading us in the service, and also sharing Kiddush with us with a little pewter and with your computer. And we thank you for sharing some of the wonderful qualities of your mom with us. I hope that we will all emulate them and honor her memory in that way. We now continue with our service with cantorial soloist Rose Lopater singing the Chadodi.
Likrat kala, bnei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat kala, bnei Shabbat nekabela.
Thank you so much. The L'Chadodi means welcome my beloved. Shabbat is compared to a bride. The bride wears white, a symbol that we're starting over, like a bride who comes in, starting her life anew with marriage. We start our life anew on Shabbat. Any mistakes that we've made, any errors, any bad habits, any things that we're trying to overcome, Shabbat is the time to do it. After this service, we want to get a new start on life, better than ever before. That's why we always start, we include the L'Chadodi in a traditional service. Now we continue with the Baruch Hu, and it's a special Baruch Hu, not just Baruch Hu, but it's got some beautiful English words that Cantor Carol Garrett will share with us.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruch Hu Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed, Le'olam va'ed. Yidalai, lai, lai, yidalai, lai, lai,
Some people might ask, why is she asking, am I awake? Of course, we're awake, but the prophets have told us that usually the way we go through life is like we're sleeping. We don't even notice all the amazing things around us, the beauty of a sunset or the beauty of our family or the ability to walk around or maybe even to run, play a sport, play a guitar. These things are all miracles. Shabbat's telling us, wake up, give praise, give thanks, don't take it all for granted. It's quite miraculous. It happens every day, but it's no less a miracle. We continue now with responsive reading, courtesy of Sharon Leibovitz, who has crafted this wonderful service. If you see the bold, please read boldly. This is the hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain, on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over?
Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back?
Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over?
This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us, shall we draw back,
my brother, my sister, or cross over?
Baruch atah Adonai ha'ma'ariv ha'chavim. Ha'ma'ariv ha'chavim means we give thanks to the one who brings on the evening, who brings on the morning. Our ancestors had no idea how that happened. But the earth is spinning in an orbit and an axis and moving around the galaxy, 1,000 miles per hour. We give thanks for all those miracles that bring on the evening. But Aravim also means to be a mixture or to change or to cross over. That's why it's asking us, are we going to cross over? Are we going to do things the same way? Or can we use Shabbat to cross over and wake up into a new realm, a new way of being? One of the insights that we seek on Shabbat, a change, is to change from thinking about ourselves to thinking about ourselves in connection with everything else throughout the cosmos. This cosmic perspective of seeing ourselves as part of the whole is what we celebrate when we recite this Shema, saying that everything around us is all one, the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Shem kevod malchuto leolam vaed. Baruch Shem kevod malchuto leolam vaed.
Thank you so much. Now, on Shabbat, we want to view everything as one from this cosmic perspective. And we also want to have a sense of love towards all creatures, all beings, all people, all living things. And so that's why we have something called the Va-Yeishev, originally meaning you shall love the Lord, but you could also interpret it to mean you shall love all creation. The Va-Yeishev is led for us by Vidya, by our cantorial spiritual leader, Andy Susman.
You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. And all these words which I command you on this day shall be upon your heart, shall be upon your heart. And you shall teach them diligently unto your children, and you shall speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up, and when you rise up, and you shall bind them for a sign upon your hand, and they shall be for frontlets between your eyes, and you shall write them on the doorpost of your house and upon your gates, and upon your gates, that you may remember and do all of my commandments, and be holy unto your God, unto your God, unto your God.
Being holy to your God really means being holy towards creation. There's something called an aha experience. It's when you have a sudden blast of insight that you never realized before. Suddenly everything becomes clear. That's called an aha experience. But I'd like everyone to have an ahava experience. Ahava means love. That's a blast of insight when you're talking to someone and they're disagreeing with you and you're thinking, oh, I don't like this person because I disagree. And then all of a sudden you have an ahava experience and you realize, wait a minute, this person is a human being just like I am. Just because their ideas are different, that doesn't mean anything. So I can still love this person. Or you see an animal and you're just ready to walk by and you think, wow, that's also a living thing. I have love for living things. Let us seek an ahava experience wherever we go and for all of creation. We're now going to have sung for us by our cantorial soloist, Rose Lopater, Mi Chamocha, who is like this creative force in the universe.
Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha neda b'kodesh, no tehilat asefele, no tehilat asefele, malchutcha ra'u banecha b'chayayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam ze'anu v'me'aru Adonai imloch, Adonai imloch elam v'ayed.
The Mi Chamocha. It actually means who is like the Lord. The answer to this rhetorical question, we are all godlike because the creative power that gave rise to the universe is within us as well. We are a product of it, and we're also a source of creativity. Who is like God? Each one of us are godlike, and we have godliness within us. We now continue with the responsive reading led for us by another person who has now assumed leadership on the board. We thank you very much for your service and for stepping up. Nancy Beyer.
Rabbi, I don't think she's on. She might have had a Zoom problem. Please read this. Thank you.
All right. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts. May we lie down in peace and rise up with strength. And the way we say that in Hebrew, may we lie down in peace, is Ashkivenu be Shalom. And so now we continue with the Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom, L'Shalom, Lehamidenu Malkeinu L'Chaim, Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha, Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha.
Safe throughout the night, Earth's heavenly atmosphere blocks cosmic rays that lets in light to keep your life down here. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom, L'Shalom. Continue with a reform, a change. Used to be the avot. We've come a long way, baby. Now it's the avot, the imahot. We give thanks to forefathers and foremothers who went through heck and back, who sacrificed their life, who gave their all, who were fearless, who were not intimidated by being outnumbered and threatened in order to preserve our precious heritage. We must ask ourselves today, when no one is threatening us at all, do we live up to our wonderful heritage that has been bequeathed to us? Do we show the same zeal, the same courage in standing up for what is right and protecting our precious Jewish heritage, which is needed now more than ever? You may stand if you'd like for the Avot v'Imahot. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu. Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor, VaHanukra El Elyon, Omer Chasadim Tovim, V'konei HaKol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, U'mevii Geula Livnei V'nehem Lema'an Shemo Ba'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham V'Ezrat Sarah. אתה הקדוש ושמחה הקדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. And we remember, my friends, that Judaism had a shortcoming. It pictured God as a male. It pictured the creative power as male. Surely, if you want to try to determine, is the creative power male or female? Who's the one that bears children, nurtures children, and gives us life? It's the female. Both are needed, but certainly the male is not supreme in that regard. Women on earth have it over us. So what do? We change, we grow, and we recognize that male and female are both needed. And we should try to incorporate the best of the traditional qualities of each into our lives. That's why we've modified this wonderful prayer. Yeah, we continue now with the reading. Responsibly, again, please join in reading the bold at your home. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth.
May all who
May all who struggle find rest on this day.
May all who suffer find solace.
May all
May all who hurt find
healing on this day.
May all who despair find purpose.
May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day.
And may this day fulfill its promise. We are now going to spend a few moments in silent meditation. I recommend meditation not just on Friday night, but throughout the week. Meditate, have moments of silence, contemplate all the miracles and the joys that surround us day by day. So let this be just the beginning, a precursor for many moments of solitude and rest, which are best enjoyed perhaps in nature. Now a few moments of silent meditation. This time we think of those who are ailing. We give thanks for the incredible miracle of the human body that allows us to heal ourselves, that allow doctors to develop incredible technology to bring healing, and allow each of us to have the healing capacity by a kind word or a friendly gesture in order to help people bear their burdens bravely. We read the names of Robert Blutinger, Genesis Cisneros, Teresa de Roches, Christopher Drenga, Harris Friedman, Laura Gallagher, Richard Glass, Sherry Glass, Lillian Gross, Arthur Hoffman, Carol Kahn, Carol Kirshner, Avery Offney, Harvey Portnoy, Linda Pruskin, Jane Rosenblum, Stanley Rosenwasser, Jesse Seligman, Jernai Taylor, and Sheila Winston. We hope that they will have the courage of our ancestors to brave their ordeals, and also that they will be blessed with a refuah shlema, a complete restoration to good health.
those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Now continue with responsive readings appropriate for Thanksgiving. Led for us by members of the board, Dr. Marcy Weiss, Stanley Rosenwasser, and Andy Lopater.
Shabbat Shalom. Please join responsively in the bold. If the only prayer you ever say in your entire life is thank you, it will be enough. Meister Eckhart. There are
Be two ways to live your life.
live your life. One is as though
nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is a miracle.
The real gift of gratitude is that the more grateful you are, the more present you become.
Acknowledging the good that you already have in your life is the foundation for all abundance.
Feeling grateful and not expressing it is like wrapping a present and not giving it.
Can't see the
No.
Now we have the next readings. Thank you very much, Marcy. Now we have the next readings led for us by Stanley Rosenwasser.
Good evening, everybody, and Shabbat Shalom, and happy Thanksgiving. So please read the bold after I read my portion. Let us remember that as much has been given us, much will be expected from us, and that true homage comes from the heart as well as from the lips, and shows itself in deeds.
Things turn out best for people who make the best of
the ways
things turn out.
The roots of all goodness lie in the soil of appreciation for goodness.
Let us be grateful to people who make us happy.
Grateful people who make us happy. They are the charming gardeners who make our souls blossom.
Now is no time to think of what you do not have. Think instead of what you can do. Thank you very much, Stanley. We appreciate it. And now we have more responsive readings from Sandy Lopater.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone, from Fredericksburg, Virginia, where I'm visiting my son, daughter-in-law, and my grandson. Happy Thanksgiving to all. Please read responsibly. No duty is more urgent than that of returning thanks.
Be thankful for
what you
Be
have.
thankful for what you have. You'll end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never, ever have enough.
Gratitude opens the door, the power, the wisdom, the creativity of the universe. You open the door through gratitude.
At times, our own light goes out and is rekindled by a spark from another person. Each of us has cause to think with deep gratitude of those who have lit the flame within us. Albert Schweitzer.
Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos to order, confusion to clarity. It can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, a stranger into a friend. Gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. I apologize for the camera being off. I'm having some computer issues.
Sandy, it's always good to hear from you, and no need to apologize. Thank you so much for your leadership, and thank you for sharing Shabbat even from very far away through the beauty of modern technology. My Thanksgiving wish is one that in the future, at next Thanksgiving, we might be able to express thanks and gratitude and joy with our family without the need to kill an animal to do it. That is my wish on this Thanksgiving. Now we're going to continue with the reading of the Torah with another song which I have created and which our Cantor Carol Garrett is kind enough to set to music with me.
If you would read the Torah, what a tale its words would tell about the old-time heroes in the land of Israel. And when the world was dark, came the light and spark to help the world to see our shared humanity. And we know when things go wrong, we must stay strong in our search for harmony. If you would read the portents in the writing on the wall, we could begin to fathom the rise of mankind and its fall. When the Jews are cursed, it brings out the worst in our society and leads to tyranny. But in those lands where Jews are blessed, it brings out the best and leads to liberty. Injustice here or injustice there is injustice everywhere, as taught by Dr. King. And if you read each sacred line, then you may find that love empowers everything, and love's power is so real. There's so much for us to do that we need each Jew, so let's not forget it. I don't know where the world went wrong, but we must stay strong and watch each other's back. If you could read the Torah, what a tale its words would tell about a legendary people in the land of Israel, of a people strong who still belong at the core of history, seeking peace and harmony. The Jews have always led the way towards a brand new day and helped us to be free, to be all that we could be. I never thought I could feel this way, and I'm glad to say that I finally get it. Hate is wrong, so let's get along with a brand new song, and let's watch each other's back. Now we continue with another rendition of the Shema, indicating the centrality of the unity of the world which we seek on Shabbat.
now going to have the reading of the Torah. In order to accomplish this, we have a prayer and a blessing for everything. This prayer over the Torah will be led for us by Janet Zweiback and Jack Goldstein, who are also joining the board, and we are really excited to have them offer us their leadership as we move forward in 2022. Take it away.
Baruch hu et Adonai Hamvarach.
Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Some of you may remember the song, You're So Vain. In this song, it's sung about a person that is described as being very vain, and they say, you probably think the song is about you. The ironic part is the song is about you. It was about that person. That's the type of Torah reading we have. We're reading about Joseph. And Joseph is vain, but he also happens to be the center of attention. Why do I say that? Because in this passage, Va-Yeishev, we read, these are the chronicles of Jacob. And the very next sentence is talking about Joseph. Yes, he was vain. Apparently he had reason to be vain. So let's listen to the story about someone who starts out very vain, and then he changes and transforms himself into someone who reaches the epitome of maturity. We're not there yet. We'll have to wait a few more sedras in the weeks to come. But right now we start out with Joseph as a very vain young man. Va-Yeishev Yaakov be'eretz megureh aviv be'eretz Canaan. And Jacob dwelt in the land in which his forefathers had been wandering, the land of Canaan. Ele toldot Yaakov. This is the story of Jacob. Yosef ben Shivas Leshana. Joseph was 17 years old. Ro'eh et son echav, v'hu na'ah et b'nei bilcha, et b'nei zilpa, neshe aviv, v'yaveh Yosef. Joseph was shepherding the flocks of his brethren and of his family. V'yaveh Yosef et debatam ra'a el avihem. Jacob, their father, sent him on an unenviable mission to go out and report back on his brothers and to tattle and to say how they were doing. V'Yisrael ahab et Yosef mikol banav ki ben zekanim hu. Jacob, who is reported in our Torah and our scriptures not as a perfect being, we're one of the only people I know that describes our ancestors with all their flaws. He commits the fatal flaw of a parent. He shows favoritism because it says here, V'Yisrael, that's the other name for Yaakov, Jacob. You remember his name was changed to Yisrael. V'Yisrael ahav, that's what I was talking about, an ahava experience, loved. He loved et Yosef. Et is a word that doesn't exist in English. It follows certain verbs. He loved who? Yosef, Joseph. Mikol banav, more than all his other sons. Ki ven is the son, Zekanim, of his old age. Ulo v'asa lo ketonet pisim. Ketonet is related to the English word cotton. It means he made him a garment of cotton, or what we call a jacket of many colors, a decorative jacket. V'yiru'u echav ki oto ahav. There's that word again for love. Avihem mikol echav. And his brothers saw that their father loved him more than all his brothers. V'yisna'u oto. And they hated him. V'yol yachlu dibro l'shalom. Shalom is peace. They could not bring themselves to even utter one peaceful word about their brother because they had so much hatred. V'yachalom Yosef chalom v'yaged le'echav Joseph had a dream and he related it to his brothers. Vayosifu od sanooto. And when he did, they hated him all the more. Vayomer Elohim Shim'una hachalom hazeh asher chalamti. And he said to them, God has shared this vision with me. See, ancient people believed that dreams were messages coming from on high, and they therefore had a large degree of verisimilitude. You could trust them. V'hinei anachnu me'ulamim ulamim betoch hasadeh. And check this out. We were all sheaves in a field. Each one of us was a sheaf. V'hinei anachnu me'ulamim v'hinei kama alumati v'gam nitzava v'hinei tisubena elumatechem v'hishtachavena. And get this. My sheep was standing straight up tall, and your sheaves, they were all bowing down, scraping and bowing before me. Vayomhu lo echav hamaloch timloch alenu imashol timshol banu. Is this dream trying to say that we should be worshiping you like a king? Vayosifu oz sanooto acholomatav va'al yivarav. And they hated him even more because of this dream. Vayachalom od chalom acher. And then he told them about another dream that he had. Le'achav. That's a message coming from on high telling us, listen carefully to this next dream. Vayomer hine chalamti chalom od v'hine hashemesh v'hayareach v'achar asar kochavim mishtachavim li. And get this. The sun, the moon, and 11 stars, they were all bowing down to me. Isn't that wonderful? Vayisaper el aviv. And they told father, the Elachav, and he related to this to his brothers, V'yigar bo aviv vayomer lo, ma chalom hazeh asher chalamta, havo navo ani ve'imucha ve'achecha lihishtachavu lacha alsa. What kind of dream is this? What is this craziness? You're trying to tell us that your mother and I and your brothers will bow down to the ground before you? V'yikanu vo echav va'aviv shamar et hadavar. The father loved him so much that he couldn't bring himself to hate him because of it. It just says the brothers hated him, but the father kept this in mind for future reference. Now the blessing after the reading of the Torah by Jack and Janet once again.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'hayein olam nata b'tzachenu. Baruch atah Adonai Mogen HaTorah.
Thank you so much.
Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom. Thanks for your service. We look forward to working with you for a great year. Now we're going to have Etz Chaim by video by our cantorial spiritual leader, Andy Susman.
Etz Chaimi למחזיקים בה בתומכם המאושר דרכיה דרכי נועה וכל נתיבותיה שלום השיבנו אדוני אליך ונשובה חדש ימינו כקדם.
I love those chimes. They just feel like chiming right in as we have this beautiful rendition of Etz Chaim Hi. Es Chaim He means that the Torah is a tree of life. Why would anyone compare the Torah to a tree? Well, a tree gives us oxygen, which we need to live. The Torah gives us words and wisdom by which we can live. The tree has roots firmly planted in the ground, and we also seek to go back to our roots through reading the Torah. The tree has branches up into the heavens, and we also aspire up to the sky. And we also, as Jews, have many branches. We think very differently from one another at times, but we're all part of the same living organism. And therefore, regardless of our differences, we need to join together. A tree of life, indeed. It channels energy from 93 million miles away, converting it into wonderful nourishment, in the case of the Torah, for our soul. The Torah reading is very interesting. It tells us that we Jews are a people of dreamers. Jacob had wonderful dreams, ascending up to heaven with his feet on the ground. He wrestled with God, indicating that when we are Jewish, we don't just blindly follow some concept that someone created for us. We personally grapple and wrestle with God. However we come out in that struggle, if we say, I don't believe it quite the way our forefathers did, I go along with all of it, however we believe, as long as we're grappling and struggling with not only God but our conscience, then we're the most Jewish of all, even if we don't believe any of it. We also now have a dream that Joseph will be dreaming. But before we get to that dream, he hasn't quite had it yet. I just want to share with you the real power of Joseph. You see, Joseph started out very immature. He was a very brash young man. If he stayed that way, all of history would have been changed. But what is it about Joseph? His name is Yosef, you shall increase. He improved. Each one of us, my friends, we have great qualities today, but we can improve. I don't think any of us are perfect. If you are, you can turn off this video right now and leave. You have no need for this. But for the rest of us mortals who have need for improvement, the capacity to change for the better is the greatest miracle of all. We're not like an organism that doesn't have a cerebral cortex to think and operates by instinct. We can change for the better. That's what we celebrate. How did Joseph change? Well, his personality changed from one that grates on others to greatness. His personality changed from one that was annoying to anointed. His personality changed to one that wanted to humiliate his brethren to one that showed humanity towards his brethren. He changed from sibling rivalry to sibling revelry. He changed from creating drama to having amazing dreams of the future. From the greatest change of all was from hubris to humility. From thinking he's better than everyone to thinking that he wants to serve other people. Some people say, well, you can't fault him for his dreams. He had a dream. That was a message he believed from God. You can't criticize him for what he dreams. It's not beyond his control. No, but you can criticize him. And we should, for telling his brothers about it and gloating about it. So what do we learn from this passage? One other thing I want to share with you about dreams. In Hebrew, the word for dream is chalom. And the word for peace is shalom. They are very, very similar. What does that mean to us, my friends? It means that in order to have peace in this world, we first must have a vision and a dream. And the Jewish people are dreamers. Some think that's a fault, a dreamer. But if you dream and you have the willingness to make it come true, it's a beautiful thing. And we also remember in modern times, im tirtzu and zo agadah. If you will it, it is no dream. We Jews dream of peace, and we must also fight to make that dream come true. So let us all have these beautiful dreams of our ancestors of peace and justice. And this Shabbat, let us show that following the footsteps of Joseph, who saved all of Egypt, that we have the ability to dream and to make those dreams come true. Shabbat Shalom. We're now going to continue with the Jose Shalom. She has it up on the screen.
Jose Shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen.
Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Yako Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Yako Yisrael.
We continue now with the Aleinu and Ne'amah.
עלינו לשבח אדון הכל, לתת גדולה יוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הרוצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחת אדמה, שלא שמחנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
We now have the reading of the Kaddish, and may all the people that we are honoring, may their memory be a blessing. We'll read the names of those who were taken from us recently: Raylene Fenton, Lawrence Grosser, Miriam Konofsky, Tracy Lieben, Janet Marciano, Pat Mitchell, Leonard Rose, Dorothy Shackman, and Harriet Tepper. We also read the names of those the anniversary of whose departure occurs these days: Mark Beck, Sylvia Bruskin, James Field, Burton Francis, Pincus Herbst, Gertrude Honig, Sadie Jacobs, David Jacoby, Sarah Jordan, Louis Kornblue, Henry Kramer, Beverly Levin, Sarah Lukoff, Sylvia Raskin, Monroe Reams, Nathan Rosenberg, Oscar Rosenthal, Edith Rosenwasser, Herman Rosenwasser, Jules Rosenzweig, Kenneth Schenkel, Walter Spaderna, Hyman Stillerman, Bess Sussman, and David Winston. Now we have the recitation of the Kaddish. Yiskedal v'yiskedash Shemei Rabbah, v'yomad yivrach ruseh v'yamnich ma'chuseh, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayedu chol beis Yisrael, v'agalav izman kari v'yamru amen. Yehi Shemei Rabbah mivorach le'olam u'bmei u'maya, yisborach v'yistabach v'yisvoar v'yishoma v'yisnaseh, v'yisadar v'yishalev v'yisalal Shemei Kedusha, v'rechum le'elah min kol berachasa v'shirasa, tush b'chasa v'nechamasa da'amiron v'yamah v'yamru amen. Yehi Shlom Rabbah min shmaya v'chayim aleinu v'akol Yisrael v'yamru amen. Oseh shalom v'mamav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'akol Yisrael v'yamru amen. May we be a source of peace and comfort to all who are mourning, and may we say, Amen. We now continue with Sharon Leibovitz, who put together this entire Shabbat celebration, for her comments and announcements.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you all for participating and being a part of our Shabbat celebration on Zoom this evening. This Tuesday and every Tuesday, we have a Torah study and chat with Rabbi Barry. And our next one will be this Tuesday, November 30th, to take a deeper look into the Torah from these great weekly discussions. We sometimes have another clergy with us. I don't believe we will have one on November 30th, but there's still exciting presentations. Our next in-person Shabbat and Hanukkah celebration will be Friday, December 3rd at 6:30 p.m. at the Fellowship Hall of the First United Methodist Campus, 101 North Seacrest Boulevard, Boynton Beach. Bring your menorah and 7 Hanukkah candles for our community Hanukkah lighting. We'll celebrate together with nash, some latkes and donuts filled with jelly, songs, and Shabbat. It will be a great time to be together. So please let us know you're coming and please show up. Thanks a lot. Don't leave at the end of our service in a few minutes, because we will have our Zoom and schmooze right after. Sorry for it being a little bit late this evening. And we welcome you to join us to look at our website, ledorvador.org. Give us good reviews on Google and Yelp. Go to our YouTube channel. You can click on the play arrow from our ledorvador.org website. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And check us out on Facebook as well. Share L'Dor Va-Dor with your friends, your neighbors, and your family, and tell them how wonderful and how exciting we are. Thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you very soon.
Hey, thanks a lot, Sharon, for your announcements and for all you do. Yes, you could find us on Facebook and also Faithbook. We have a Faith book. We put our faith in the Jewish ideals of love and peace, and we also put our faith in the ideals that we should be a light to the nations. So we offer this final benediction. Yivarecha Adonai v'yishmarecha. May you be blessed and preserved throughout your life in this coming week. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichaneka. May the light of love shine upon you always. Yisar Adonai panav elecha. V'yasem lecha shalom. May the light of love and the power of love lift you up to new heights of spirituality. And may we be willing to continue to dream, and may we be willing to work hard to make those dreams come true. Amen.
Amen.
And now we have a final song called Be a Light.
Dim dim da dim 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 da. In a time full of war, be peace. In a time full of doubt, just believe. Yeah, there ain't that much difference between you and me. In a time full of war, be peace. In a world full of hate, be a light. When you do somebody wrong, make it right. Don't hide in the dark, you were born to shine. In a world full of hate, be a light. La 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 la. In a place that needs change, make a difference. In a time full of noise, just listen. 'Cause life is but a breeze, better live it. In a place that needs to change, make a difference. Whoa. In a world full of hate, be a light. When you do somebody wrong, make it right. Don't hide in the dark, you were born to shine. In a world full of hate, be a light. Kol echad hu or katan, vechulanu or eitan. Ma'oz In a time full of war, be peace. In a time full of doubt, just believe. Yeah, there ain't that much difference between you and me. In a time full of war, be peace. In a world full of hate, be a light. When you do somebody wrong, make it right. Don't hide in the dark, you were born to shine. In a world full of hate.